Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds, and it's time for a top 10.
The top 10 combo cards in Commander.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. We got videos every single day, so if you want to support that awesomeness, there's a Patreon link in the description.
Yeah, and you can go there and support us directly. If you pick direct tier, you can get a shout out like Hannah Huffman. You're the patron of the day. Thank you for your support, Hannah.
How about indirect ways to support us?
Well, there are a few indirect ways to support the Nitpicking Nerds. The first one is our TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. Go there, use the link. Now you're on the website. Buy all the Magic cards you were going to buy anyway at the exact same price, and we get a kickback.
And the same is true of Dragon Shield. Kickbacks or kickbacks. We get both of them if you use dragonshield.com, EU or US link in the description. Buy the best sleeves in the multiverse.
Good sleeves.
That's it. That's the entire two-step process to give us money.
Yes, and we would appreciate that very, very much. And also, happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is today. And I forgot something, because guess what? In the middle of this video, there will be a Moxfield ad, and you will never guess the time code, so don't even try it.
You could try, but I will respond when you fail.
Yes, because you will inevitably fail, because nobody can do it.
Right. What is this video? It's a top 10.
Yeah, this is a top 10. So today, we are, talking about the top 10 combo cards. Now, we took a couple things into consideration for this. Strength of the individual cards and how much they combo. Also, the number of different combos the cards have. Now, both of these play a factor somewhat, but sometimes the card's going to be really strong and have a few combos, and it's going to make it really high. And sometimes a card's just going to have 50,000 different combos and also make it really high on this list.
Yeah, these cards you see and you just go, uh-oh, something screwy is going on. This isn't really just a normal card. I got to watch out for combos. There's going to be tons of them with all these cards. And I think CDH bleeds into this a little bit. We're still not really talking about CDH specifically, so these probably aren't tiered correctly, but these are combo cards, whichever format you play in, whichever version of the format.
Yeah, whatever. This is Commander, right? Any form of Commander, if you see these cards, you're probably thinking there's combos in that.
There's combos afoot.
There is combos afoot. So we got some honorable mentions before we get into it. Penumzor / Freed from the Real. These combo with anything that taps for a blue mana and any other mana, because now you're going infinite. We also have Intruder Alarm as an honorable mention.
Anything that makes a token and it taps to do it just makes infinite tokens.
Yeah, Vannifar has a lot of combos with this card as well. And Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker, which just got edged off this list. Literally, this is the number 11. Yes, it's got a lot of combos, but they're all very similar. They're all the same thing. You're making infinite creatures. Very good card. Don't get us wrong. It is a combo machine. Just didn't quite make this list.
It's got some stiff competition, like number 10, Basalt Monolith, which is a 3-mana artifact that taps for 3, or you can pay 3 to untap it, because it's not going to normally untap.
Well, this card goes infinite by itself. Technically, there's not many payoffs in the format for it, but it does go infinite. You tap for 3, pay 3, untap it. So you can tap and untap, tap and untap, tap and untap, and tap and untap as much as you want. That won't get you anywhere. There's not many ways to pay that off, if any. I don't think there's actually any ways to pay that off in the format.
Yeah, but if you add a mana to the production or reduce a mana to the activated ability, that's infinite colorless mana.
Yes, this is the classic combo with Basalt Monolith is Rings of Bright Earth, where you just pay 3, and then you pay the 3 to untap it, and you add another 2, and now it untaps twice. So now it pays 6 mana. You're paying 5 mana. You have infinite colorless mana.
It's very easy. Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy makes it tap for 4, and then it untaps for 3. Zerda, now that I'm thinking about it, reduces activated abilities with that, so then it was infinite. It's just always the payoff is infinite mana. Yeah,
you just get to easily make infinite mana with this card, and you just go off. It's really simple. There's a bunch of different little ways to do it, and you win with the ham sandwich after that, because when you have infinite mana, I think the most common one is Walking Ballista, a card we talked about putting on this list, but didn't quite make it because
it's usually just the end.
It's the payoff to all the combos, right? Like all the infinite mana combos, the best payoff is usually just Walking Ballista.
Yeah, exactly. So Basalt Monolith, pretty good. The card by itself probably is a little weaker, which is why it's lower on the list.
Yeah, I agree. It's by itself, it's not a very good card.
I wouldn't really recommend playing it by itself.
If you're not comboing with Basalt Monolith, I would never play it, I think. I think that's where I'm at with that card.
All right, what's number 9?
Number 9 is Animate Dead, and I'm not going to read you exactly what this card does, because I don't know what exactly
it's impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible. It's 1 in a black, and it enchants a creature in your graveyard, then that creature returns to the battlefield, and it's got -1, -0. Now, all the combos here are creatures that enter and get rid of the Animate Dead. So we got World Gorger Dragon, which gets rid of all of your permanents. We have, let's see,
Leonin Relic Warder, which can exile the Animate Dead until it leaves, which is immediately. Same with World Gorger Dragon. And they're just going to bring it back, which brings them back, which exiles it, which makes them go away, which brings them back, and everything just keeps looping forever.
Arian's Ward, whatever that guy's name is.
Abdel Adrian. You've never once said that thing's name correctly.
Abdel Adrian, Arian's Ward.
Gorian's Ward.
Gorian Ward, whatever. That card, whatever. That card also just goes infinite with this card, and then that deck, that can be your commander. Woo, that's an easy 2-card combo to put together. You just need a black background.
Those are only 2-card combos. There's plenty of more intricate ones with like Safi Eric's Daughter, there's Renegade Railiers, Sun Titan, and all this stuff that just goes crazy forever. But those are some of the main ones. This card also super strong by itself.
Yeah, one of the best reanimation spells in the whole entire format, and like having a card that's literally just generically one of the best ways to reanimate creatures and a huge combo piece. Now we're talking. Now we're just talking about an amazing Magic card, because this card not only is the combo piece, this great thing that if I see it, I'm thinking there might be some combos in that deck. It also is just probably the second best way to reanimate in the entire format.
Yeah, and this one doesn't even really scream combos, because you could just see it and it's like, okay, they're playing Animate Dead. They're getting back a creature. You don't know they have Abdel Adrian somewhere in their deck randomly.
Yeah, because that's a good value card. It's
yeah.
Just, like you said, I think it's literally the second best way to reanimate in the whole format. It's reanimate and then this.
Yeah, this might even be better just because of all the stuff you can do with it.
Because of the combos? Yeah, that might even be true with the combos. That's fair, but it's purely as a reanimation spell. Reanimate's the best, and then this. And then when you bring in the combos, Animate Dead probably overtakes it, like you said.
All right, number 8. This is a beefy boy. It's Kodama of the East Tree, 6 mana, 6/6, with just the dumbest words on it. First of all, it's got partner, sure. Secondly, whenever a permanent enters the battlefield, if it's not entering with this ability that I'm reading right now, you get to put a permanent from your hand into play if it has equal or lesser mana cost than the thing that entered.
Well, this goes infinite because of the words equal or lesser. Yay, yeah. So if a token enters, you can put a land from your hand into play.
If a land enters, you can put a land in from your hand.
Yeah, and if a land enters, you can put a land from your hand. So my main one with this is Field of the Dead combos. I mean, if you have Field of the Dead, or you have any token that enters from landfall, boom, you can
Spore
win.
Mound.
So bounce land, boom. You bounce the bounce land back to your hand. You get a token. Oh, token says put something in play. I'll put the bounce land in play. I'll bounce it back to my hand. Get a token. Oh, I'll put the bounce land in play. Infinite, whatever token you want to make.
Yeah, we had a problem. We put this in the Commander Cube, and there was like intricate 6-card infinites that we were like, it's all Kodama's fault.
It is Kodama's fault, because Kodama's just a combo machine. The card just doesn't require a lot. It's all about, because it's the stupid equal. Why is it equal? If this card would have a lot less combos if it said with less mana value.
Yeah, this thing is a machine. You gotta kill it. And it's kind of a generic good stuff card.
Oh, it is.
But if there's Simic, I know there's Simic Growth Chamber running around. Sometimes in the other combinations, it's less obvious what they're doing, but it's going to be infinite or infinite adjacent.
Yeah, I actually avoid putting bounce lands in Kodama decks because I know it's so easy to go infinite.
Yeah, I don't want to accidentally stumble into that. When we try specifically not to play combos, you have to,
exactly.
You have to try to not go infinite with Kodama.
Yeah, that's how good it is. It literally just says, put one bounce land, play one suboptimal land in your deck, and now all of a sudden, I have infinite combos.
Or have some kind of token maker.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, you're going to have Field of the Dead, right?
Even if you don't, it's just like Terror of the Peaks and a token maker.
Oh.
Game over.
GG.
Yeah.
It's over. Sorry, game's over, guys.
Sorry, thank you. Thanks for coming. What's number 7?
Number 7 is Underworld Breach. 1 in the red, cards in your graveyard have escape, which means you have to exile 3 other cards, and then you can just pay their mana cost to cast them again, and they go back to your graveyard, which...
There's the line that makes this one a combo monster.
Yes, and this one is a strength one, because it does have a few different combos. Like, I know Wheel of Fortune's a huge combo piece with this. LED really helps us go off, and
Brain Freeze.
Brain Freeze, those are the cards. Those are the main ones. You're just going to mill yourself out completely and then win the game from there because you have access to your whole entire deck.
Maybe some of the cards above it on this list.
There's definitely a card above it on this list that you will use to win with this combo. But Underworld Breach just is a way to mill your deck out usually, and just, or even mill everyone else out, because if you are able to do the combo and just draw your whole deck and everyone draws, then you can just get everyone to draw their whole deck out with
yeah, you can either Wheel of Fortune them to death or Brain Freeze them to death because the storm just keeps going up.
Yeah, exactly. So you just get to win the game off of those. this card is really, really strong and a high-level combo. Like, you're going to see this in CDH because the Brain Freeze and the LED stuff. In fact, you're not going to see the LED stuff outside of CDH because LED is not really a card you play outside of CDH.
Discard your hand, add 3 mana is not a casual sentence.
No, it's not at all. It's a combo piece.
Right, exactly. This card, actually, it's funny because they wanted to pay an homage to Yawgmoth's Will, I think, but they literally just made a better card. I don't know what they were doing.
Oh, this card is so...
I don't know what the heck happened there.
It's hilarious because Yawgmoth's Will, it's not like it's a bad card, but this is a way better card because the cards don't get exiled. They go back to your graveyard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the problem was they didn't think about that with Escape, I think. I think that...
Maybe.
I think that...
they thought exile was like baked into it.
Yeah. They well, not that they thought it was baked into it, but more like the thought of like
it was in the wrong spot.
It was overlooked, right? I think
you have to exile cards, but it's not the cards that matter.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just, I mean, it's just classic. Like when you put this card with a bunch of old cards that are broken, like LED. It's like this card's not broken except for LED.
Yeah, let me show you the 50 card list that makes this thing super strong. So don't let an Underworld Breach resolve if you don't have a very clear idea of what's about to happen.
I do think it's funny. Actually, in Modern, there's the Twiddle Storms deck that goes off with Tome Scouring itself.
Tome Scour. Wow.
Yep.
That's a sweet one. Let's go to number 6. It's Michaelus the Unhallowed, the card that has 4 abilities, and you are required to forget one when you read it. So this is 3 black for a 5/5 with Intimidate. Your other non-human creatures get +1/+1 and have Undying. Whenever a human deals combat damage to you, destroy it.
Okay, and the only one that matters here is that our non-humans have Undying. This thing is just a powerful card by itself with no combos. You don't need combos for this card to be good. Every single one of your creatures gets a second life except humans, and they come back and they just have an extra counter. They're more powerful. Now, it combos with any way to put -1/-1 counter on. Yawgmoth's going to do that. Persist is going to do that.
Yeah, persist creatures just do that.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything. You just need to sacrifice them and get their ability infinite times.
Yeah, literally. You sacrifice it, it undies, and then you sacrifice it, it persists. Then
right.
You sacrifice it, and undies. Infinite. It's infinite whatever, however you're going to win Puppeteer. Click add in.
Murderous Redcap is infinite damage.
Yeah, Murderous Redcap is infinite damage. It's so easy to win. You need sack outlets with this, obviously, because you need your creatures to die, so... There's some sack outlets we're going to talk about in a little bit that are obviously the best ones for this.
Yeah, another way to do it is to just remove the counters that Michaelus is going to give it because it gives it +1s. And you can use Triskelion, the classic little buddies combo with like Tooth and Nail or something. Triskelion enters with 3 counters. It's a 1/1, and it gets +1/+1. So 2 of the counters are going to ping itself, and then 1 counter is going to ping somebody. Then it has 2 toughness, dies to the 2 damage on it, and it comes back with a +1 counter and 3 other ones, and then you just go crazy.
And now you ping it twice, and you ping whatever you want twice.
Yeah, you just keep going.
Yeah, Mike and Trike is a classic combo. It's just a 2 card. It wins off a Tooth and Nail. It's just by itself. You don't need any other thing to pay that off. It's literally just Mike and Trike. They just go off.
Yeah, you can try it with Walking Ballista, but that's way harder. You need other stuff.
Yeah, you need other stuff with Walking Ballista because if you have Walking Ballista, Michaelus, and a Blood Artist, that'll win you the game. Because it can just ping itself off over and over and over again, then Blood Artist can drain everyone.
Yeah, the problem is the +1/+1 that Michaelus gives. So Walking Ballista is a 2/2. You have to ping itself in order to kill it.
Yeah, exactly. So take it off, make it a 1/1, kill it, and then it'll die. So you just need the payoff from there. Michaelus is just a great value engine in Commander. That
good top end.
Good top end. You can put it in any black deck and probably be satisfied as long as you have creatures.
Yeah.
Wow, what a ask that is.
Play 20 creatures in Commander. Wow. Okay.
Pretty tough. Pretty tough to do. Yeah, but this card just is very, like I said, very strong by itself and a combo machine.
All right, combo machine. I don't know what this card was made for. If not combo, this is Protean Hulk. What does that do?
Protean Hulk is a 7-mana 6/6, and when it dies, you search for creatures with total mana value 6 or less, and you put them directly onto the battlefield. Okay, easiest thing in the world. Hulk has been a dedicated combo card for the longest time, and honestly, I don't even think it's a good card outside of a combo card.
In other formats, it was like bannably strong.
Yeah, I mean, this card is really, really silly good. In the decks that are playing this, you play Protean Hulk, you sacrifice it, the game is over if they don't interact with you now. And all you did was play 1 card and sacrifice it.
That's it. I know there are so many different combinations of completely different cards that win the game almost on the spot with this, that it's like tough to even list them. One of the ones I know was like Cephalid Illusionist and Nomads and Core, plus Grand Abolisher backup. You just target the cephalids over and over and over and you mill your entire library, and then you win from there with like a lab man or something. And then there's other ones with like Karmic Guide or Body Double, either way you want to go, where you just keep protein hulking over and over and put your entire deck into play and win with Blood Artist.
Yeah, exactly. It's just 1,000,001 different piles. Like there's literally a whole thing where they're called Hulk piles.
Yeah.
Like it's like a known thing within the Commander community of what a Hulk pile is. It's completely based on this card. This is a pretty degenerate card that requires nothing other than building your deck in a certain direction. And once your deck is built that way, know how to do the combos, and the game ends when you play this card.
Yeah, really sweet. I mean, Protein Hulk is a monster. This is one of the questionably legal cards in the format where people are like, we unban this? Jeez, because it is brutal. If you see it, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, I mean, I always assume that if I see a Protein Hulk, it is not a value Hulk. It is a combo Hulk, because 95% of the time, it's a combo Hulk.
I feel like the rest of these, you have more of a window to actually do something. Protein Hulk dying is like, you're done. You should have already done something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hope you can counter the ability, because I'm going to get stuff that'll make it so you're not going to be able to interact, basically.
Yes, exactly. Number 4 is multiple cards. They're all really similar. It's any card with Altar in it that's an artifact. It's Altar of Dementia, Ashnod's Altar, and
Phyrexian
Altar. Not Altar of the Brood. Let's just limit it to those 3, shall we? It's just those 3 sack outlets that make mana or mill, because they sort of are a sack outlet, but then add something to make your critical mass combos require less cards than normal.
So any combo that requires a sack outlet, which a lot of them do, require usually something more. These give you something more. So they turn all of your, if you have an infinite loop that requires a sack outlet and you don't have anything else, well, now you have infinite mana, or you have infinite mills and you just win the game. All 3 of these altars individually have a bunch of different combos.
They're all different, yeah.
They are all different. Like Gravecrawler has a lot with Phyrexian Altar. Nim Deathmantle has a ton of combos with Ashnod's Altar.
Yep.
And then the Karmic Guide Reveler loop that you can do is just going to win now with your
Altar of Dementia.
So all these altars do something a little bit different, but each one of them is incredibly strong individually as well. Like, these are just amazing, amazing Magic cards that, wow, and they have 1,000,000 combos with them.
It's funny. I think if you're a creature deck, you can basically just throw any one of these 3 in your deck with no consideration at all, and it'll do stuff.
It really will. Especially, it's all about creature count, right? Like, if you got 30, 40 creatures somewhere in that area, these are all going to be very good without even thinking about it. You don't have to add much synergy. They're just going to do a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, you're going super big. You have a lot of creature power toughness in play. Well, Altar of Dementia is just an alternate win condition. Like, you're trying to power out like Muxus or something. Well, Ashnod's Altar is going to let you do it 1,000,000 times a turn. It just keeps going, and they're so good.
Yeah, exactly. These cards are just, they're silly. They're literally silly cards that feel like they feel like some of those cards where it's like, if they were banned in Commander, all 3 of them, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
They're all 2 cards in 1, it feels like.
It really does, because the sack outlet's just supposed to be the sack outlet, right?
I'm supposed to like scry one after that.
Or you have to pay a cost. Like, when sack outlets are fair, when you have to pay a cost, like, pay 1, sacrifice a creature, do something. That card is so much more fair than sacrifice a creature :
Yeah, then you get to be number 4 on a list of top 10 combo cards.
Yes, and next is...
I think this one's a surprise to some people.
Definitely, because it's Moxfield.com. Oh my God, we got it 100%.
Look at your face.
Moxfield.com is the best way to build a deck on the internet. This website is literally the one that we've been using since we discovered it, and we're not going to stop using it probably ever. Moxfield is amazing, and we 100% advocate for using it. We were advocating for using it and telling you to go follow us on there before we were sponsored, because we love Moxfield that much.
You can playtest your deck, you can organize your deck, you can sort your deck, you can very easily price check your deck, you can do so many things that kind of put the other ones to shame, the other websites. I won't name any names, but they're shameful.
And its search is powered by Scryfall, which helps so much. Honestly, it is a huge thing. Scryfall is a great website in itself, and the fact that they utilize the search engine from Scryfall to help you find the cards makes Moxfield that much better.
Limited to your commander's color identity, so you don't get the extra chaff in the search. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that is so nice. I love when I always use the temple one, but it's like, if I temple of, there's 1,000,000 temples of. Temple of, like...
In blue-black, there's only a few.
There's only like 5 or 6. Like, I can find Temple of, what is it, Deceit?
Deceit.
Yeah, I can find the Temple of Deceit much easier now.
Yes. So that was surprising. But even more surprising might be our actual number 3, Jerry's.
Which is Sensei's Divining Top. 1 mana artifact. You can pay 1, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order, and you can tap it to draw a card and put top on top of your deck. Now, key to this is being able to get the top back off your deck somehow. Well, we have things like Bolas's Citadel. What is it? Alesha?
Elsha of the Infinite, Reality Chip, their Future Sight straight up.
Yeah, and all those are like, okay, they're combos. Like, I have to pay 1 mana to get the top back. Well, Bolas's Citadel's a life, so that's already not mana. And if you... Elsha's just asking, reduce top's cost by 1.
Helm of Awakening is the go-to, I think.
It is the go-to. Any artifact reducer will also do it. There's a million of those.
Oops, you drew your whole deck.
Oops, you draw your whole deck, you're going to win the game. Obviously, when you draw your whole deck, I don't know how you don't win, especially with a card that I'm not going to mention because it's coming up on this list. I'm sure everybody knows what it is.
It's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise, but it's coming up. It's a card that is probably the best combo card in the whole format.
Yeah, we saved this one as the surprise. Sensei's Divining Top just seems like, it's like, stapley kind of card. It's like, but it'll just kill you. Like, there's not a lot of cards that can do this thing.
I mean, I have a Feldorn deck that's not designed to be combo-y at all, right? Like, it can make a ton of mana and do a couple of things here and there. But I have Sensei's Divining Top because I want to control the top of my deck, so Feldorn's ability is better. And then I have Horn of Bergi because I want to impulse draw more. Now I can pay 1 mana to just impulse draw the top 2 cards of my deck. It's like a mini little combo. If I had a reducer, it is a combo. Let me impulse draw my whole entire deck, which is just silly because I wasn't even trying to do that. These are just synergy pieces in my Feldorn deck.
Yeah, Sensei's Top, don't sleep on it. I know you can't really kill it super easily, but be wary of blue or black type combo-y things going on.
Also, I will say, it's a little pointy, tough to sleep on.
A little pointy? Oh. The top. It's very small.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to sleep, but it would be like.
But maybe, I don't know, if it's just small enough, I can just like put it under my knee or something and sleep on it.
I always imagine when you say don't sleep on it that you put it below your back.
It's got to be right into your spine.
Yeah, it's poking into your spine.
Okay, don't sleep on it.
Yeah, don't sleep on it. BZ, number 2, give it to him.
Number 2 is mainly one single card, but there are a few cards on the outskirts of number 2 that we're also going to mention. It's Dockside Extortionist, kind of a dumb magic card. It's 1 in a red for 1/2. ETB, make treasures equal to the number of artifacts and enchantments you don't control.
Yeah, there's a million ways to go off with this card because the fact of the matter is artifacts are running rampant in this format. Enchantments are all over the place. We're going to see enough that Dockside is a mana-positive ritual that is not only a mana-positive ritual, but is leaving you with permanence after being a mana-positive ritual, and it's a creature, meaning it's extremely abusable.
Yeah, the creature part kind of just takes it into a whole other universe. Deadeye Navigator, Eldrazi Displacer, all this sort of different stuff. Actually, Displacer might not work, but Deadeye Navigator and all these dudes that flicker it for a number of mana just go infinite, because if you pay 3 mana to flicker it and you make 5 treasures, that's infinite treasures, infinite colored mana. And the people on the outskirts would be like Peregrine Drake and Palinchron, which actually do go infinite with Eldrazi Displacer if you have a colorless land. They're going to be flickered and they kind of go mana neutral, and they're still stupid, and Dockside's way better than they are. So,
yeah, Dockside, we all know he's just like a card that was obviously a design mistake, but it's obviously over the top, ridiculous, and so easy to combo with. It's a creature. All you have to do is create some sort of loop with this card, and you have infinite mana. And there are loops all over this format. There's so many infinite loops.
I'll go ahead and add Temur Sabertooth and Lord Dracus plus Unsummon, I think also works.
Yep. There's just 1.5 million. There's literally so many different little Dockside combos. I know that you can come up with, like, you could probably create a 3-card combo right now if you just sat down and thought about it for a minute.
Right. I mean, I just thought of 2 off the top of my head while you were saying that.
Yeah, literally. If you can put this back in your hand for less mana than it costs to cost and bounce, infinite. Man, this card produces sometimes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana.
Yeah, I will say Dockside is more of like a eye roll when I see it. But when I see Peregrine Drake and Palinchron, I'm kind of like 0. I'm like lasering like they're gonna combo or something. But Dockside's hard to tell because it's just like the best red card in Commander.
Yeah, like I've seen the fair Dockside hundreds and hundreds of times. I've seen the unfair Dockside also,
but I don't see the fair Peregrine Drake.
Yeah, there's like is no fair Peregrine Drake.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing with it that's fair.
The fairest thing I've seen with it is a Scarab God deck had it, and it's like, hey,
free activation.
It's a free activation, free 4/4 flyer. It's like that's something. I can see that with Palinchron too. It's like, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, but even in like Sephiroth, it's like, I'm going to reanimate this in complete dungeons. It's like, no, you're going to take a 10-minute turn because Peregrine Drake's involved.
Yep, and Peregrine Drake is so not fair.
But Dockside's the main man.
Yeah, he's the main man. I mean, these other 2 fit with it, but Dockside is obviously the combo card.
Yeah, it's like to the point where Drake and Palinchron might be honorable mentions if Dockside didn't exist. I don't know if they'd be on this list.
Yeah, it's fair. Okay, next All right. It's
Number one. What could it be?
It's super obvious, and everyone knows the power of this card is not matched by any other combo card. It is Thassa's Oracle. All it requires is you to empty your deck. Now, the combos with this are only really two. The combos are usually it comes in at the end and it's the payoff, and if it was that, we wouldn't have put it on this list.
Right, because that's everything we just read. We milled our library with half of the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. So this is blue, enters, equal to your devotion. You look at that many cards, and if devotion is equal to or less to whatever you have, then you win the game. I hate that it's less than.
It's still equal. Equal is still the problem.
Equal to is a huge problem with this card because you can't remove the Thoracle. Even if you Cyclonic Rift off their permanents, doesn't matter if they had 0 cards in their library. The combos, like I was going to say before, are Thassa's Oracle, Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle... Leveler, Thassa's Oracle, Tainted Pact.
Even like Inverter of Truth, I guess.
But yeah, as long as you just have to get rid of your entire library, which you can...
It's not that hard.
It's really not that hard. Those 3 cards I just mentioned, just do it right away. And now, outside of that is the payoff for any combo that mills your deck, like we mentioned. If you just go back to the Underworld Breaches, okay, we went through our whole deck. The way to win is just to play Thassa's Oracle after that.
Oh, even Enter the Infinite also pretty much does it.
Yep.
Just draws your whole deck straight up.
It just draws your whole deck. You put 1 card back, right?
Yeah, and then you have 2 devotion.
Yep, you have 2 devotion. Boom, win. Thassa's Oracle is an extremely silly Magic card. It's hilarious because it seems so similar.
It's just another riff on the Labman Jace Wielder of Mysteries train.
It seems like they would just be like, oh, this is fine, right? It doesn't really do that
and
much.
then you see equal, and you realize that that's just not okay.
This card doesn't. This card. The difference between this and those two is that it doesn't require the card draw. This isn't a replacement effect. This is an ETB, which
trigger.
is a huge difference.
Lets you cast Thoracle first, and then see if it resolves, and then try to start doing instant speed stuff. Thoracle's amazing. Did you know?
Yeah. Did you know Thassa's Oracle is actually one of the best cards in the Commander format, period?
Yes. And did you know that we have a top 10 of the best ETB creatures, of which Thassa's Oracle is one? And off the top of my head, I cannot remember if it was on that list or if that list somehow excluded it. So why don't you go find out?
Yep, go find out and tell us how bad we are at our jobs. Peace out, Tribe Scouts.